Here we are, and we're going to start by clicking the plus in the top left. You can see it just up here. Give that a click, and what do we want? We want a landscape. That's what we want, because we're going to start off with a flag, you see. So 16 by 9 landscape, give it a click, and we'll go in here. Jones, what's the first thing we're going to do?
Well, knowing you, Dom, you always like to name your project first, so I'm
I
guessing you're
do.
going to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, VE Day flag graphic. There we go, something imaginative like that. It's really good to name your work because it means you'll be able to find it later on. That's why Mr. Jones has got thousands of projects and he has no idea where any of them are because he doesn't. Right. Now, let's get going. Now, the first thing I want to do here is I want to have like a flag background. I'm going to have a Union Jack background on here. So we could go over to media on the left-hand side and we could go to photos and we could search for a Union Jack. But flags tend to be a difficult one to get. So we're going to use the generate image button here. You can see it there. It's the grayed out pill that you can see. Give it a click. Now it's going to ask you what you need, what kind of size. 16 by 9 is the size of our canvas here. So we're going to click 16 by 9. And what do we want? Well, we want a Union Jack flag. That's it. That's all I need to do. I'm going to click generate down the bottom here. You can see it. I'm going to leave the content type as art because we like to look arty. We like to pretend that we're artists. And we're going to start stretching this out. We don't really need to, but just to show you that you can use corners and things like that. And what we're waiting for is 4 different results down the left-hand side here. The hamsters are working overtime in the background. Ooh, look at these. Nice. Where are those stars from? What the devil? I think number 3 is the one that gets to me. This one's a bit too arty. Hang on.
Ooh,
Hang
that's
on.
cool.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like
Not
it.
sure about. I'm a traditionalist myself. Right, I'm going to go for number 3 here. Now, it doesn't fill my canvas, and I could click it and spend all day kind of messing around with these and all the rest of it. But if I go over to the left-hand side here, you can see that I've got a set background button, and that's the one I'm going to click. Boom, it's right in there. Perfect. I love it. Right, what else are we going to put in here? Well, why don't we start off with Meredudd? You choose. Text or images? What would you like to go with?
Oh, it's got to be images.
Images, right? Okay. Surprised you said that, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our activity page here, and you can see, we've got a picture of Mr. Jones' granddad here, but actually it's Winston Churchill. And we've got all of these different types of images that you can use in here. Now, one of the ones that I really like, and I'm going to start with, is this one here. I'm going to give it a click. Now, all I can do is I can right click on this page and you can see copy image. Very simple. And then I can click off, go back to Express, and here I can right click and press paste. Or you can just use your keyboard shortcuts if you like. Control and C, Control and V, that kind of things. Right, now what I want to do with this is I want to kind of stretch it out. I don't want to use that set background button that we used before. What I want is I want to get this crowd looking like it is kind of, let me just move a few things around on my screen. I want to get it right across the page, one side to the other. But then also what I want to do, let me just zoom down on this page a little bit, is I want to sort of arrange it so it just goes on the horizontal. You see this red horizontal that's going across? I want to kind of match it up with that. So I'm going to just use the long handles on the top and the bottom to match it up. There we go, just around about there. Cool. I like it. And now that that's done, it's kind of sticking out on the page. It doesn't look particularly good right now, but if you click opacity on the left-hand side, you have all of these options here. Now, Mr. Jones loves a screen. He loves a multiply. Oh, multiply on this one. That shows you all the dark.
Screen's the boy here, I think.
Screen's the boy. But then if you also bring the opacity down, that kind of makes it blend in really nicely. I like that. So that's a good place for us to, I think, switch over. Do you not think?
Yeah.
And you can have a little crack at those kind of things.
All right. Okay. Well, let's get your screen down, and then I'm going to share my screen. So the reason we're doing this twice is that I'm on the iPad. So Dom's on the browser version of Express, and I'm on the iPad. And to be honest with you, the experience is really similar. And loads of schools that join our live lessons have got a mix of both browser and iPad devices. going on in the same classroom, doing the same lesson, because the experience is so similar. Right, so here's my iPad. You can see it on the screen, looking glorious. And hey, we've had some shout outs as well, Dom. We have got Michael saying hello and wants to learn about digital storytelling. And we've got Penarlag Year 5 with Mrs. Hamilton, one of our
Mrs.
regulars.
Hamilton, absolute
and then
legend.
Westwood Primary up in Buckley in North Wales are having some internet issues today. But don't worry, guys, you can always catch up with this recording when you get that sorted out. And then the last one is we've got Blaen Avon Heritage School as well. Welcome to you, Pnawn da, good afternoon, and thanks for your messages and keep them coming in. Right.
Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr. Let's get started on this. So Dom started off with a landscape canvas. So over on the top left of my iPad screen, you'll see the blue Get Started dot. Let's give that a tap. And then you can see there in the window, the Get Started window, the third option across the top is landscape. So I'm going to tap that. It's going to open up the Adobe Express all-in-one editor. So we want that Union Jack flag. So over on the left-hand side toolbar, down the left-hand side, we're going to tap on Media, and we're going to generate an image. So that's that gray button you see underneath the big blue button. So the gray button, Generate Image. Tap that. So the best size for this is definitely widescreen. Give it a tap. Okay, so what do I want? I just want a Union Jack flag. Simple. Okay. Now, what's great about this is because we're not just searching for an image, we're actually generating a brand new image, is that you can scroll down and use the styles. So you could go into something like techniques. You could decide that you want it to be done as a wood carving. Let's give that a go. That's a bit...
Oh, hello.
All right. And I've seen really good examples of this with an embroidery effect as well. That looks really good, like a stitched flag. So let's see what my wood carving Union Jack looks like. So you decide which styles work best for your design and what your tastes are. Okay, as Dom showed us, whilst that's generating, we can still kind of start thinking about the size of this, where we want it to sit on the page, even before we see it actually being generated. And here we go. We've got these 4 results. And I think that last one is my favorite. I think that's really cool. So
yeah, nice.
I'm done with that. So if you want to go back and edit this now just as any other image in Express, what you want to do is close the Generate Image window down. So that's the X there at the top next to where it says Generate Image. Tap that. And now we've just got the normal image editing options. So I can set background exactly as Dom showed us. The next thing Dom did was grab an image from the challenge page. So on the iPad, I'm just going to switch apps from the Express app back over to Safari. And here we go. Here's the challenge page on Safari. So if you didn't get a chance, you could scan that QR code now to open this up, or just use the short link that you can see there at the top, adobe.ly/VE25. Okay, so I want that picture of the crowd. So let's scroll down to activity 1. Where's the picture of the crowd? There it is, the third one down. So I'm going to tap on it to open it up full screen. Now to copy this on the iPad, we're going to long press. You're going to hold your finger down on it until a menu pops up. There's the menu. We're going to copy that. And now it's time to switch back to the Adobe Express app. So let's just switch apps again, back to Adobe Express. Now I want to paste this. So to paste on the iPad, the best thing to do is to long press on the gray outside your canvas. So long press, paste. Maybe paste again. There we go. And there's my image. And as Dom showed us, I'm just going to scale that up, crop it down, so I get this kind of thin strip of this crowd in London on VE Day in 1945. And then I'm just going to use my blend mode under the opacity menu. I'll go for screen, bring the opacity down a bit. Maybe I'll go for normal and bring the opacity down. Yeah, I'm going to play around with that. No, screen. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. And I'm happy with that. There.
Alrighty. So I've got mine here. And I told one of the things that I really like doing here is that we can show you a way to do it, but it's also quite fun to show you other ways to do it as well. So if I just show you what I did before, I had my crowd picture and I just started tweaking it so that it was actually over the whole thing. And then I went and reduced the opacity, and it's kind of got this crowd on every single section of the flag now. And I think I'm going to keep it like that. So
nice.
There's just a little, yeah, I really like that. I think it blends in really well. Now, if I go back to if I go back to this page here, there's a few things on here that I want to use. So you've got one of Winston Churchill here waving to the crowd. So let's right click that, copy image, go back to our flag, and then I'm right clicking in the gray or anywhere really, or use your keyboard shortcuts and paste that in. Now there he is, old Winstone. And I'm going to get him. And now I like this, but I don't need a crowd. I've already got a crowd. I've already got one.
Yeah.
So you can't have two crowds. That's greedy.
No.
So let's remove the background on this. You can see the remove background. Oh, it's done a cracking job. But let's just examine it a little bit further. It says it's done a cracking job, but actually you can still see
Ooh,
this kind of, yeah, we've kind of got a ghost in here. So it's
there's a
easy.
dude. There's a
Yeah.
dude's face there floating up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the front of his face. Right, so I'm going to go to the erase button. You can see that the sunglasses one there. Click that. Now it asks you what kind of brush you want. I don't want a quick selection. I want a circle brush. Quick selection will guess what you want to get rid of, and I don't want to do that. I just want to tell it exactly what I want to get rid of. That dude's face, something around just above this dude's ear. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Well, let's
Totally
get rid
about
of
that.
it. Yeah, let's get rid of all of that. There
Looks
we
like he's
go.
wearing big earrings.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a horn. Maybe he's hard of hearing. Right, so I've got that in there. Now that's great. It looks like he's waving to the crowd. But you know, so I'm going to click done down the bottom here. But also what I kind of want to do with this is he's facing the wrong way for me. In this
Yeah.
image, I want him facing into the center. So I want to go to position on the left-hand side. I'm going to flip horizontally. Boom. Look at that. There he is, waving to his adoring fans. It kind of looks like it looks like he's looking at them, which is great. Let's go and practice something very similar to that again before I pass it over. So I'm going to go to the back to the gallery here, and I like this one. I like this one a lot. So, but
Oh,
I
they're having
actually
a laugh.
they're
Yeah.
having a great time, aren't they? So I'm going to right click on this, copy image, and it's very similar process to the one before. So I'm going to paste this one in. So I can right click here and paste. Now this is going to have a tougher job. It's going to be harder, this one, because the background kind of blends in a little bit more. But let's see what it can do. Let's see what the dog can do in the top left here. Come on, doggy, you can do it. Ooh, there's lots of bits I need to get rid of here. So I'm going to go back to the erase button. Circle brush is still there. And this is where I need to start, getting rid of all of this stuff. Now, the brush at the moment, you'll be able to see the size on that side. The size is 40. Now, that's okay when you've got big bits to get rid of, but when you need to get rid of smaller bits, it can be a bit more tricky. Now, you don't really need to be particularly, exact here.
No.
Yeah, well, there you go. Mr. Jones always telling me off for that. But I do want to bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to bring it down to 16. I'll just get rid of this. So you've got bingo wings. And then if I bring it down even smaller, there we go to number 4. Look at that. It's really small because I've got this kind of dude just poking through here. So let's just get
Yeah.
rid of the dude. And that'll give us a kind of a cleaner edge. And we've got bits up here, but I'm not too bothered. I don't need it to be perfect. There's nothing perfect in this life, isn't that right, Mr. Jones? Apart from
Goodness
you.
me, no.
Apart from
Especially our
you.
live lessons.
Right, there you go. Done. I could clean that up. I could probably spend all day on that, but that looks. Oh, there's one over this man's shoulder as well. But you know what? I can
Ah,
keep that in. That's fine. So let me just move teams out of the way for a second. Right, let's pop that around about there. So you could have his hand going off, but you could also flip it like we did the last time so that's over
yeah.
this side. That's kind of cool. And play with the size. There we go. So it's about getting images in and then using the remove background erase button. So I'll come off
Yeah.
and Mr. Jones will go on.
Yeah.
Cool. There
Get
we
your
go.
screen off. Okay. And my iPad is on the way back. Okie dokie. So here we go. Let's get those images over. So I'm going to switch back over to our activity page. adobe.ly/VE25. And yeah, so Dom used this famous picture. So Winston Churchill gave that famous speech on VE Day. And it's incredible seeing that crowd. But so I'll use a different one. I'll use this first one here. Again, same technique. Long press, wait for the menu to pop up, copy. And then let's skip back over to Express. Long press on the gray outside my canvas. and paste. Okay, so that's going to bring that in. And I'm going to do the same as Dom did. I just want to remove the background. So you can see over on the top left-hand corner, we've got the happy dog who's going to chomp our background off, like that. It's going to get rid of the background. And whilst it's doing that, we've got a couple of more shout-outs. We've got Class G from Ross V Primary in Wrexham. Welcome to you
good
guys.
stuff.
And then we've got one of our live lesson stalwarts, Miss Richardson from Ysgol Gynradd Amlwch, saying, hi there, Dom Meredydd. Hope you're both well. We are. We have year 4, 5, and 6 taking part today from Ysgol Gynradd Amlwch. Hey, and that's an Express School challenge, Miss Richardson. So get to the bottom of the activity page and send in your submission. Yeah, win some pizza. Come on. Right, okay, we've also got a shout out from year 6 in Ysgol Bryn Coch in Mold. Okay, so that's done that job. So it kind of got rid of the table and it's a bit messy down at the bottom of the image. But you know what? I don't care because I'm going to do something along the lines of that.
He doesn't care. Can you believe that?
Nah. And again, as Dom said, if people are facing in a specific way, you always want them kind of looking in at the rest of your document. It would be really weird to have him over on this side looking away, you know? So we have him on this side so that he's looking in at the rest of the document. Right, okay. So the next thing Dom did was grab another image. So I could do that, but actually, why don't we have a look and see what's available in Adobe stock? So if I go to Media on the left-hand side, go to Photos up at the top, search Photos. I'm just going to search for WW2, World War II. And I'm just searching in here. And I'd like maybe a plane. So there's a few options here. I like this one of these two planes. That looks really dramatic on that angle. So again, it's uploading it right now to the project. And you see that little cloud in an orange circle in the top left-hand corner. And whilst it's doing that, you can't edit the image, but you can move it around. You can resize. You can rotate. And by the time you're ready, there we go. Now I can remove the background. I'm not sure if I want both of them. Maybe I just want one. So I'm just going to pop it up there in that top left-hand quarter of the flag, top right-hand, quadrant. And then I'll just mess around with this, the rotate tool. And I think that's a
very cool,
exciting angle for that photo.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought that angle is incredibly exciting. Well done.
If I had a plane, I'd always be flying on angles like that. You know, no point going straight, is it? Come on.
If you had a plane, you'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, that's me with my 2 images in on my design. So I think we can get my iPad off the screen and let's pass it back over to Mr. Trainer.
Okie dokie. Let's go. Okay, so. Oh, no, it's not sharing. Hang on. Let me share now. Are you going to share? Yes. Okay, perfect. Now I've got Windstone over here. Now I'm going to bring his opacity down. That was one thing I didn't do before. Like it. I've got my celebrating people over this side. Opacity down. Thank you. Very nice. But also,
that's a nice tip. I'm going to do that right now. That's a great tip.
Just reducing the opacity is a great one. But then also, I thought my background could do with a little zhuzh. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to, let's go to effects and then filters. This portrait one, oh, look at that. Much more vibrant, much more alive. We're trying to communicate lots of happiness and joy. It's celebration. So that one's a good one for me. Now, Mr. Jones did a really good one with the World War II planes. I like this one. It's got 3 of them in there. So I'm going to select it, make sure I'm in edit, remove background. Same thing that we've been doing all along, really. We're just a one-trick pony here. And I'm going to put those there. I've got 3 of them. And I also quite like the fact that they're in color and they're golden. Like they're the winners. That's great. So I'm really into that. That's cool. Right. Got enough images in here now. Let's start going for some text, just because we're conscious of time now. I'm going to go to T for text on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to add your text, which is the blue pill or blue lozenge, as I like to call it. Give it a click. And then I'm going to put VE Day. Now, I don't know if I put VE Day or Victory in Europe Day. What would you put, Mr. Jones?
I think I'd put VE Day, I think.
You reckon? Oh, there you go. He always knows what to do. Right, let's stick it in there. Now, you can see if I scroll in just a little bit more, when I'm moving this around, I'm centering it, which is bang on the middle of this Union Jack, which is great. Now, if I am going to change the text in here, you can have a look through recommended fonts. Ooh, this one's kind of nice. Yeah, I like that. Utopia standard black headline.
Oh, that's
Who'd have
great.
thought? Yeah. But also I want to make it bigger. It needs to be bigger. So now that I've done that, I'm going to have to realign it all over again. But I'm looking for the crosshairs there, the pink crosshairs. Now that that's in there, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll change the fill to white. Oh, maybe I should change it to the kind of white that's in using my dropper tool, the kind of
Yeah,
white that's in the flag. Nice. That'll keep it nice. And
lovely.
then, thank you. And then here's your outline. So I could click outline. Now, what kind of outline would I like? Well, if I use my dropper tool again, I could select a blur. That's in the flag already. That's kind of nice. I like that. Um, and then I could use the outline thickness to bring that up. And then last but not least, because I know Mr. Jones is going to do it, and if I don't, he'll make me jealous, I'll go to effects and then I'll put a shadow on it.
Oh, that's a
Jones
great idea.
loves a shadow. Look at that.
True.
And you can play around. You can play around with colors and stuff like that, which is pretty good. So we've got BE Day there. And then I'm going to add some more text. Now, give me the dates here.
8th of May,
98. Yeah, well, I want the year 19.
45.
Thank you. I was just testing you.
Sorry, I
Might
didn't
be.
realize it was a test. Sorry.
There we go. 1945. That was the day. But then also, because this is the 80th year, we can do it to 2025. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go to duplicate here, the three dots. I'll show you that again. When you've got your text selected there, you go to three dots, duplicate, drag this over here, pop it in roughly the same position. Look at that. Lovely. It's giving me those pink lines. It says, well done, trainer. You're spot on. Uh, and then give it to yourself again. There we go. 1945, 2025. And then I'll duplicate it once more, bring it down here. Now I'm going to play with the size and stuff like that. So I want to do 80 for 80 years. So
Oh, yeah.
this one needs to be quite big, I think. Now, I've shown you how to change things like color and stuff like that. And I know that Mr. Jones loves playing with text. So maybe why don't we pop over to you now rather than watch me do this? And
Okay.
because you've always got funky things to do with text, you're great at that.
Oh,
Right, I'm
thank
going to
you.
stop sharing now.
Go on, get out of here.
Oh,
Yes. So let's get over to the iPad and let's see where I am. So yeah, I'm ready for the text step. So to add text, left-hand side, we've got the T button there for text. And then add your text is the big blue pill-shaped button up at the top there. So we're going to type in here VE Day, VE Day. Lovely. And yeah, I mean, the font and the color of the font really isn't working at all for me. So let's just change the color of the font first. So I really like Dom's idea of using a color that's on the flag. So let's tap on the black square that's showing our current color there. And then I'm going to use the eyedropper or the pipette, as we may call it over here. That's up at the top of that window that's just appeared. You can see it right there. And there we are. It's given me that circle in the middle of the screen. Now, you can't see that happening. When you share an iPad screen, you don't actually see it. But it works exactly in the same way. Oh, yeah, you do see it. There it is.
yeah, I think on this one you do, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So you can see now that the VE Day there is exactly the same kind of cream color as the lighter part of my flag. So let's just now add a really thick outline. So I'm going to go to the outline thickness, take that all the way to the top. And I like Dom's blue. So I'm gonna go for kind of the darkest blue that I've got here on my flag. So I tap on that square that's currently in a really weird brown color. And
Lovely.
I'm gonna grab again the pipette, and I'm gonna just bring that over to this lovely deep dark blue over there and drop it.
Oh,
Brilliant.
nice.
So the colors are sorted, but the font really is no good. You don't want this font to look modern at all. You want it to look serious and definitely of the period. So kind of something that would appear in the 1940s. So you can use the recommended fonts, or what I quite like to do is to scroll really fast through the fonts and wait for something to just you usually find something will just jump out at you. You know, something
I
will be
can
like, hey,
confirm that he does love doing that. I
it
can
does.
confirm that.
It says, hey, it was me. And then it's like, okay, I will. No, not that. That's too fun.
Right.
So it's too fun. Yeah. So just scroll through and grab a font that just works for you. Something like that. There we go. Now then, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to 3 dots, duplicate. Okay. And maybe I'll switch the colors around. So you can see over on the left-hand side, we've just got
Ooh,
the color
lovely.
switcher. So this can go into my 80. So 80. Oop. 8 minus 80. Lovely. There we go. Something like that. And then I'm just going to duplicate this again. Duplicate. And in this version, I'm going to just tap in there, double tap to select it, and I'll do 1945 space dash 2025. And that's done. And that's all I want to do with that is bring it down in size and pop it underneath that 80. Something like that.
Tremendous.
There we go.
Loving your work.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Right.
So let's get the iPad off and let's jump over because we are just about at the halfway point. And also, Mr. Booth from Blaenavon says that Year 6 are absolutely loving this.
Oh, tremendous.
And also, we've had a message from St. Giles School in Wrexham who are really enjoying all of the sessions, not just this one.
Perfect. Not just this one. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at
so
that.
For people that are joining us for the first time, it may be worth mentioning that we do weekly sessions, not here, over on Dom's YouTube channel. And you can get to those by going to adobe.ly/live lessons. And we'll pop that link up in the chat right now. So if you want to come to more of these lessons, then get registered and come along.
Right. So to finish this off really quickly, I put 80 years down the bottom. I just duplicated this 80 text and then changed it to years. I've tried to keep, I also brought the opacity up of the crowd because it was getting a little bit lost, and I wanted to make sure that you could see Winston was, celebrating with the crowd. And the last thing that I'm going to do here, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to elements on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to design assets. I'm going to search for Laurel. Now, this is great. So this is kind of celebrating 80 years. This fourth one here, it looks lovely. So I'm going to pop that there, 80 years. Now, one thing that I will do, and one thing that we haven't even looked at since we've been here, so it's a very good time to do so, is that I put this laurel on top. And if you look, the laurel is kind of on top of our years text here. Now, that could be good or bad. It's up to you.
Oh,
really.
yeah. Yeah.
But if you wanted to change that, you could use your layer stack, which is on the right-hand side. And if I pop it under years, then you can see that it just tucks underneath, and that's lovely. Now, the only thing that I might do with that is try and go to, maybe try and make it a little bit more yellow. There we go, a little more goldeny yellow. That looks great. I'm well up for that. You can change the intensity of these things. A lot of the, look at that. That's right. It's just so decadent. I love it. Right, there we go. I'm going to share. I'm going to download mine now. You can go to the download button, the download button at the top. Give it a click. File format, whatever. If you can print it out, PDF print is good. Give it a click and then download it to computer. Otherwise, you can click share. You can share it via Google Classrooms, Microsoft Teams, or create a view-only link, which you can share with whoever you like by pressing Create Link there. Jones, let's see your final. Let's see your final countdown here. Let's see your final masterpiece.
Let's get your screen off then. And I've just been having some fun whilst you've been doing that. So I've got I put the date itself in. So you've got 8th May 1945.
That is tremendous.
Did a few adjustments. So the last thing Dom did, he went into elements, and then up at the top, you went into design assets. You could also go into icons and search for this Laurel. So the difference between icons and design assets is the design assets will have way more detail usually, and they'll be kind of more artistic. But the icons are great because you can obviously set the color. So I can bring this in this laurel here. Now I can have that in exactly the same color as my text outline, like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then it'll look as if the outline of my
Yes.
text and the outline around that number at the bottom is actually joined with this laurel. But then I do
Oh,
need you to
lovely.
layer stack over there on the right-hand side. Let's just bring that down underneath those two text boxes. Yeah, and using icons means that you can totally blend them in using the same colors. Right, I'm done. Let's get the iPad off because we are ready to move on to our second activity.
Tremendous. Okay, let me get this up here. Okay,
Yeah.
and let's go. Okay, back to the challenge page now. Don't forget where the challenge page is. Adobe or activity page, sorry.
Yeah.
Adobe.ly/VE25. And now we're going to go down to activity number 2. I'll give it a brief introduction. And maybe
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, you might like to lead.
That's fine. Yeah, no problems.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we're going to be doing a web page here. VE Day in Numbers webpage. This is a classic. I actually really enjoy doing these. These are great. Now you've got, we're going to learn some real facts about VE Day using a web page, and all the facts are here. You can see we've got some intro text here, and then you've got a number and what exactly this number means, or like why it's important. If you're on the iPad, you can see there's lots of numbers there we're going to use. If you're on the iPad, you can open this text in a Google Doc, and that'll make it a little bit easier for you to copy and paste bits of text.
Yeah.
But Mr. Jones, I think probably you're the one to fire away with this one now. Yes?
Okay then. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's get your screen off and let's
Uh-huh.
get the iPad up. And here
Beautiful.
we go.
Seamless.
Right. Okay. So we're still here on the flag project. So if you're ready to start the new project, Express is always saving all the time. So I don't need to worry. If I want to go back to the home page, just tap the Express logo. Which side is it? It's this side. Is it? Am I going the right way? No, it's the wrong way.
No.
All the way up there, all the way up there to the top
I got it.
left-hand corner, you'll see the Express icon. So give that a tap. Oh, I'm such a pro. I'm such a pro. Right, and then that takes you back to the Express homepage. Oh, and we've also got Mr. Burns is back. Mr. Roger Burns from Queen's Ferry CP are back with us. Thanks for
Queen's
joining us
Ferry.
over here on Adobe Live, guys. Thanks for coming along with us for
Never
our
not
adventure.
here. That's what
Yes,
Queen's
an
Ferry are.
adventure
Never
on a
not
new
here.
YouTube channel. Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, so we're going to be making a web page. So you can see here on the Adobe Express homepage, we've got the big purple hero tile that says build a web page. Okay, so let's give that a tap. And this is going to open up the Express web page editor. Now it's going to offer some templates. What do we think about those, Dom?
Nah, we're too good for that.
Let's
Too
make
good.
it from scratch. So down at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a button that says create from scratch. Yes, come on.
Yes.
And here we go. So the first thing it does, it asks us to add a title. So let's go and grab that text. So I'm going to skip back over to the activity page, scroll down to activity 2. Now, copying and pasting text on an iPad is a little bit more fiddly than on a browser. So to help us, I'm going to use this Google Doc. So if you want on the iPad, long press this button and open in background, and it's just going to open this up on a Google Doc in another tab. Okay. If you just tap the button, it'll try opening up the Google Docs app, which you may or may not have. If you long press and open in background, it just opens it up in Safari for you. Right. So I want the title. So it says there, VE Day in Numbers. So I'm just going to double tap there. Tap, tap. And now I use these blue handles to pick that first piece of text. And then I'm going to long press on that highlighted blue bit and copy. And we're going to just jump back over, add a title, tap in there. Now then, you could long press and paste, but actually on the iPad, there's an easier way of doing that. So all the way over there.
I got it.
The way over there, far away from me, you'll see at the top of my keyboard. I got it, man.
He's normally on the other side. He's absolutely flummoxed.
All the way over there on the other side of the keyboard at the top, you'll see 3 icons. And what the final one, which is a black clipboard with a white page, is paste. So if I just tap that, there we go. It's pasted it in. Look at that.
Nice. Beautiful.
Right, let's go back and grab the next bit, which is this, May the 8th, 1945. So I'm just going to, again, double tap on where it says May. Tap, tap. And I'm going to just select that. And long press. And you don't need, you don't need access to this, okay? You don't need to actually open up and edit the Google Doc. Don't worry about that at all. There you go, copy that. Back we go. And this is going to be our subtitle. So again, that button all the way over there, that paste icon, tap it, and it's in. Right, now then, what image do we want in the back of this? Well, let's click on the little plus in a dot that's down at the bottom of our screen. And we're going to choose photo. And we're going to use the brand new feature where we can generate an image for a web page. So I'm going to tap on that.
Never seen that before. This is the first.
Yeah. So you could do whatever you want. You could do another Union Jack, but I'm going to go a bit different. I'm going to try and produce a map of Europe, full stop. And then I'm going to say red, comma, blue, and white, full stop. Right, that's all I'm going to type. Image size is important here. We want this to be really wide. So I'm going to go for a widescreen image size. And let's scroll down. And let's have a look at techniques. What about doing something like stippling and splattering? Stippling and splattering. And then I'm going to hit generate. And it's going to give me 4 options of stippled and splattered maps.
Oh, gosh. Never nothing but entertaining.
Stippled and splattered maps. There we
go.
go.
Get there.
Yeah, it's what you all didn't know you needed in your life is a stippled and splattered map. Right.
Yeah.
So it's having a good old think about it.
It is having a
Here
good
we
old
go.
think
Look
about
at
it.
these. Oh, wowzers.
Ooh, tremendous.
They are all amazing, to be honest. They're all amazing. I think I'm going to go with the first one because I like the angle it's on. So I'm going to tap on that. And then up in the top right-hand corner, up there, there's the blue button that says apply. So give that a tap. And it is going to set that as your background. The last thing I'm going to do before passing over to Dom is the font isn't working for me. It's too modern. Okay, it needs to look of its time, 1945. So to change the font, the easy way to do that in a web page is to just choose a theme. So right up at the top of your screen, across the ribbon, you've got the magic wand. And if you tap on that, it opens up the themes panel on the left-hand side. And, Nightcap could work. Vintage could work. Baldwin could work. Chic could work. Chronicle could work. So I think I'll go with Baldwin. I think that's going to be spot on.
Nice.
Let's see it. Lovely. That is absolutely perfect. Let's get my screen off. Let's get Dom's screen on. And what I'm going to do whilst Dom's doing that is I am going to name my project VEJ Webpage.
Thank you.
That's going to happen in the
background. Day
background.
Would never come.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a little cheat here. I'm going to copy all of this text in the activity page. Copy. I'm going to go back to Express. You can use the Build a Web Page button, this purple one here. Give it a click. Don't need any of that nonsense. I can create from scratch. Add a title. Right. I click in there. I'm using Control and V to paste in there. And then I'm just going to take all of this, cut it. That's Control and X or Command and X, depending on what you got, and put that in there. Boom, love it.
He's bringing the skills that pay the bills this afternoon.
Yeah,
guys.
you know it.
Wow.
You know. Well, it's easier on a laptop, isn't it? It's easier on a laptop. So, VA numbers, right? So, background. Click the plus. Go to photo. I've just never seen this before. This is exciting. Generate image. Let's do it. Right. Okay. What would you like to see? I'd like to see old style map of Europe. We'll do white, blue, red, full stop. Right, I didn't put any capitals in there. Hey, I'm sorry. I'll get lots of emails from teachers saying, "What
should be sorry as well."
Yeah. I know. Okay, I'm going to go and change them. Hang on. Because also, generative AI might judge me as well. Right. Okay. Content type. So you went, where did you go here? Did you go to effect?
No,
techniques.
Yeah.
Techniques. Splattering, stippling, pencil drawing. No. Bold lines. Yes. Generate. Yes. Okay, so I've gone for the widescreen, the 16 by 9, because it is going to be this kind of header across the top. Is that the one you chose? Did you do a
Yes.
16 by 9? Right,
Yes, I
okay.
did. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's see what I get. It's always interesting to see like how the prompts work differently. Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Love
cool.
it. Like it. I think actually this one is cool, even though there's some random
Yeah,
things in there. But I
that was
like
my
that
favorite
one.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah, go for that. I think it was the bold lines. That's the one that really did it for me. And then I'll press apply in the top right. Lovely. Oh, I love
brilliant.
that. That's really cool. What else did we need to do? Yes. Now, I think he's absolutely right when he's talking about this text not necessarily being the right thing for what we've got. So, or for what we're trying to do here between Europe. It happened a long time ago, 80 years ago, in fact. So we'll go to themes in the top there with the magic wand. What am I going to go for? Chronicle. Chronicle's the one. Chronicle
Yeah,
is yes, Chronicle
it's
was
good.
the
Yeah, it's
one.
a great
It was
shout.
the only one. Right. While I pass it back, I'm going to
Yeah,
rename mine as well because it's very late for me to rename mine.
right.
Makes me slightly nervous.
Fine. Let's get the iPad back up then. So let's move ahead. So let's scroll down, and you can see at the bottom of my screen it says scroll to start writing your story. Okay. So let's scroll down, and it offers me different options of what I can.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It offers me different options what I can add to my page. So we've got this kind of intro paragraph of text. So let's just choose text, the second option along there, text. Brilliant. So let's jump back over to the activity page or the Google Doc. And I just want this big block of text here. So double tap, use these blue handles, choose that whole first paragraph, because it basically tells us all about VE Day. It tells us about the kind of parties that people had, and that Winston Churchill made a speech, and that even Princess Elizabeth sneaked out of the palace into the middle of all of the big crowds
Yeah,
to join in
she
the
went
party.
partying, didn't she? Remember
She
that?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Right, so let's paste it again. Remember that icon over there on the left-hand side, top left-hand side of the keyboard, that paste icon. Lovely. Now then, formatting the text. Now, formatting text in the web page editor is super quick because when you tap on any piece of text, you've got these H1, H2, and a quotation mark icon. So if you tap H1, ooh, too big.
Ooh, no, no, no,
H2,
no, no, no.
ooh, that may be it. Or the
That's good.
quotation mark, ooh, that's also nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can choose which one works for you best. I think I'll go for H2, and I'd like it to be centered. So you can see there over on the right-hand side of that editing bar, we've got the center text icon. So that's looking great. The next thing I'd like to do is actually bring in my graphic design flag that I just worked so hard to create. So to do that, it's really easy in Express. Underneath that piece of text, you'll see the plus icon again in the little dot. Give it a
I thought
tap.
you could have worked harder on it personally. I know you
Well,
worked hard, but you could have worked harder.
thanks, Dom. I think that's probably the nicest thing you've said to me this week. And we're gonna choose the very last option there that says your stuff. So give it a tap. And here it'll show you everything you've done recently in Express. And the most recent thing will probably be your flag. Well, it will
You'd hope
definitely
so,
be your
wouldn't
flag.
you?
Yeah, because unless somebody else has been using my account in the last 20 minutes. Here we go. They're loading slowly, slowly. It does tend to load a bit slower if your Wi-Fi connection's a bit slow. So here we go. There's my flag.
There you go.
Give it
That's
a
the one.
tap. And then it's going to ask me, hey, do you want to add this as an image on its own, or do you want to create a photo grid with it? No, I just want this one on its own. So here we go, add as image. And then that's going to drop it in. And then you definitely want to put a caption. Oh, I did it twice. There we go. I'm impatient. So you definitely want to add a caption underneath saying, here's my graphic design for VE Day. Right, let's get the iPad off the screen. Dom, get that text in and get your flag in as well.
Okay, cool. Right, let me share, and then we are here. Okay, so I'm on my web page, and it says scroll to start writing your story. So that's what Mr. Jones did, and then it said, "What do you want to do?" And he said, "Text, T for text." So we did that, and then we went back to the activity page, and we highlighted this, and I used my keyboard shortcuts, Control and C, to copy it all, and then I came back, and then I pasted it in, and then I thought that's too small, so I clicked in there. And then I chose heading 2. Yeah, nice. That worked well. What's that one like? Yeah, too small. Yeah, heading 2 is the one I'm going to have. You censored it. Yeah, I think that's probably, yeah. Wow, I've got this. What do you call it? Widow text.
Oh yeah.
Yes. At the end of World War II. How is there anything I can shorten here? Gave a speech. Maybe I'll do an ampersand. Yeah, look at that. Use an ampersand, and now it's all on the same section. That's great. Okay, so I've got my first bit of text, and then underneath, I'm going to press the plus. I'll go to photo. No, your stuff. I'm going to go to
Yes,
your
your stuff.
stuff. Gosh, that was close. And then I'm going to click your stuff. And mine comes up a bit quicker, which is good. And then I'm going to choose this one here. Hang tight. I will. I want to add it as an image, please. Add as image. And then here's a graphic I made to celebrate 80 years of VE Day.
Nice.
Something like that.
Cool.
Lovely. This is
Right,
great.
get that off the screen and let's get the iPad
Okay.
back on.
Gosh, that was short but sweet.
What? Very sweet. Right, here we go. The iPad is back. So now we've only got 10 minutes left, but we are fine now. We're home and dry now. We got some easy repeated skills now. When you learn a new skill, a new digital skill, best thing you do is kind of use it a few times in a row to really kind of cement it in the brain. So we want to add a split layout section next. So let's just keep scrolling down and it'll say, right, what do you want next then? And I want a split layout. So it's down there at the bottom. It's the last but one option next to your stuff. So split layouts are cool because basically it just puts an image on one half of the page. And then the other half of the page is flexible. You can put text, more images, videos, GIFs, buttons.
Keep going.
That's probably it. That's probably all of it.
Ice cream vans.
Yes. Right. So let's grab the first 3 facts about VE Day in numbers from our doc. So you can see where the first one there starts with 80. So I'm double tapping on 80, and then I'm using that blue handle, the blue selection handle, to just choose all of those first 3 facts: 80, 6, and 2 million, and the fact that comes underneath each one. And then I'm just going to long press anywhere on that blue to copy. Okay, so, it didn't. Right. Long press. Copy. Thank you. Right, and then let's go back, and we're going to add this to the white side, which is on the right. So tap on the little plus icon on the white side, and then choose text. And again, I'm going to use that paste button, which is all the way over there at the top of my keyboard. Paste it in. Cool. Now then, what you want to do now is format this text. So you could tap on your first 80. Okay, do you want this to be H1? Maybe that's going to be good for this. H2, header 2, a quotation. That would work as well. Quotation looks good with that strip going across. I think I'm going to get away with using header 1, the biggest text. I think that works nicely. And then I'm going to just go through all of my 3 numbers. There we go. So what are these facts? 80. Well, of course, it's 80 years since VE Day back in 1945. 6. What does 6 mean? Well, it tells us that World War II lasted for nearly 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. And then 2 million. What's the significance of that? Well, almost 2 million people celebrated VE Day out in the streets of the UK. Right, so what kind of image do we want for this? Well, let's go over to the left-hand side, tap on the Add Your Image button. And again, I'm just going to search this time. You could generate something, but I'm just going to search WW2 for World War II. And I'm just going to bring in a suitable image from the Adobe stock library that we've got access to. There we go. Right, now I'm going to pass over to Dom, and when you next see me, I will have done the next 3 facts on another split layout using exactly the same skills. So I'm just going to scroll down, split layout, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy and paste the text, format the headings, and choose a suitable image. So let's race, Dom. I'm going to do that, and let's see if I've done that by the time we're back on me.
Alrighty, right. So let's do this really quickly. Let's go here and here. Okie dokie. So I've got my web page here as a graphic that I made to celebrate 80 years. And then I scroll down and I go to split layouts. Okay, you can flip this up, which is kind of cool, using the arrows in the middle, but I'm going to keep it as it is. So what Mr. Jones did, I mean, this is so easy on a laptop. I'm going to just copy all of these 3 facts here, copy, and then I'm going to go back to my web page, click the plus, go to text, bosh, it's in. Right, I did actually change my theme because it will change how header 1, header 2, and quote functions work. So I've got my numbers here. I'll use that header 1 and I'll center it. And then for my what it explains is the 80th anniversary. I'll use the block quote because then it gives this nice little stripe. I like that. So this one needs to be header 1 and I want it also to be centered. So maybe I'll just do all the numbers now. Center header 1. There we go. And then all you need to do is click in the text, block quote and block quote. And then on the left hand side, very easy to do. Add your image, search for photos, World War II, WW2. I mean, it could be any of these really. I don't know. Like, that one's quite cool, isn't it? That one's great.
Oh,
Look at
wow.
that. That is amazing. I
Very
mean, it depends
dramatic.
on, yeah, it is very dramatic. It depends on what kind of thing you want to, show in your picture. But I think, lasted nearly 6 years. That's a very epic picture of it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go over and see what the maestro has been doing for the next section.
Yeah. So let's get your screen off and let's get the iPad back on. So yeah, I've done with the next section. So we've got our next 3 facts about VE Day. So 11 is significant because it's 11 a.m. is when Germany surrendered on May the 8th, 1945. And then 10 is significant because Prime Minister Winston Churchill gave his famous speech from the very famous 10 Downing Street. And that's what I've used as an inspiration for my image search was Downing
I
Street. So
see.
that's in the Adobe stock library. I just searched for Downing Street and that one came up. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then finally, this is such a fun fact, isn't it? What does 2 stand for? Well, 2 royal princesses, Princess Elizabeth, later Queen Elizabeth II, and Princess Margaret, snuck out of the palace to join the crowds and join in the party. Hey, we've got another comment in from Penarlag School saying we haven't done this type of task before and are really enjoying it. Oh, that's great. It's
Yes.
really nice
Great
to
to
hear that.
hear.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for that. So there we go. So, and you may notice as well, when you add a second split layout, it switches the image and the text panel around. So it just gives your web page a nice balance. Instead of having images all down the left and text all down the right, it'll automatically swap them back and forth for you.
It is a
So I'm just
lovely
going to
balance. You're right.
no, thank you. So I'm just going to do the same again, just to repeat that skill for our final section, a final split layout. And then we've got our last 3 numerical facts about VE Day that I can't scroll down to because it's
Why don't
frozen
I do
up.
them?
Yeah, you do it. You do
Go
it.
on.
Come on, let's get the iPad off. Let's get that
Yeah,
browser
there
on.
we go.
Come
Let's
on.
get the browser
Take us
on.
home, Dom. Take us
Take
home.
us out. Okay, let me go back here. So let me go back again. So you just go here, split layout, click it. I went to this page. Might be going to the Google Doc, copy all of that text. Because it's already spaced out by different lines, you see, you can just paste it in and it does all the work for you. And I like a bit of that. I like someone else doing the work for a change. But there we go. And then I can format all header 1 and center, make all of these block quotes. You might be doing it slightly differently depending on what theme you chose.
Yeah.
Go on, Mr. Jones. You give us what we're going to search for our last image.
Well, what about peace? What about just the word peace?
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a dove. Oh,
Lovely.
this
Yeah.
one. I like it. Do you know what? I would really like that dove to be centered more. That's such a shame.
Is there a way you could do such a thing?
Oh, yes. Click it, focal point, and then bring that over to the left-hand side. And that, yes.
Ah.
Love that. Is there anything else you'd like me to put in here, Mr. Jones? You are the mastermind.
No, so I think it's really handy that everybody knows that you have just made a website that you can actually publish to the web straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, take us through how they would do that and share their amazing web page.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what I will do quickly is show you how you present, because I do love the way that these present. You can press the play button in the top, and then you can use your arrows to go from section to section to section. Look at that. That is so professional. Escape to come out of it, and then you can press share. And then you can invite people, collaborators to work on it with you. But you can also publish it to the web by just going create link. It also puts the credits in, which I think is fantastic. And then we'll do create link, the credits for all of those images that you've used that were taken by excellent photographers around the world. And then you publish your project and it will kick out a link. Bosh, copied. You can share that with whoever you like, or you can share it by Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams.
Perfect. Hey, there it is. Right, let's get that screen off because we are nearly at time, guys. We've had some amazing comments this afternoon. Thank you, Michael, for your final comment there, saying that you've learned loads of little new tips and tricks. And Michael's enjoying our energy, Dom. That's all that coffee we had.
Oh, there you go. I'm about to crash though. So we've got
Yeah,
about 30 seconds before I crash.
Also, a massive thank you to Tim, who's been keeping us on track today.
Legend.
Thanks for your amazing work. And you can see there down at the bottom of the screen, if you want to come along to more of our live lessons. So these aren't on this Adobe Live channel. We run these every week. So we are the UK education team, and you can join us from wherever you are in the world by going to adobe.ly/live lessons, and you'll see there all of the sessions that we run every week throughout the whole school year. Yeah. Come and have fun and join us.
And they can tag us if they share things on social media, can't they? Tim and there, look at that.
Yeah,
Dom_trainer, Meredudd J. Don't forget the double D. Well, actually, it's a triple D, isn't it? Because you got one and then two. And Adobe for EDU. So there you go.
Yes. Yeah.
What a fantastic session.
Yes. Thanks, Dom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Pro.
Oh, I tell you what, you schooled us today. It was amazing.
And there we are. We're at time. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope we see you on another one soon. Hope you've had some fun and learned a lot of interesting facts about VE Day along the way. So bye for now.
See you later.